And just like that, we're back with more of the height lock and this absolute bop of a song that we left off on last time around. So, if y'all recall, we went through numerous resets all the way up to attempt 24, which finally got rolling. And at this point, we have successfully passed the first totem fight. We have a couple of things that we need to get done today. So our next story point is in Melemele Meadows, where we catch up with Lily again. And before helping her out, we are going to duck into Seaward Cave and catch ourselves an Alolan Diglett, because that'll be helpful for dealing with How's Pikachu, who is always an issue at this stage of the game. We will also get our encounter in Melemele Meadow. Actually, we'll probably hold off on our Melemele Meadow encounter for a little bit, just in case it is Oricorio. So Oricorio could be a bit tricky to catch with our current team. We've just got several Pokemon that would take a lot of damage from its attacks. That said, right before we finished up last time, we got 2 new Pokemon. So we are going to go ahead and do some training with those Pokemon. Oh, and while we were between streams, I went ahead and added items. Oh. I almost wandered into that guy's reach. So, because we're starting off with Zipper, we're probably going to try and hunt down a couple of Abras. But, hey, well, it looks like we can't actually... We probably can't one-shot any Abras yet, because we don't have a Bug-type move quite yet. Unfortunately, I don't think there's much chance of us getting the KO here. Yeah. We don't have a Bug-type move yet, so it's going to be pretty close to impossible for us to... Wait, this thing might have Wing Attack at that level. Hold up. I was starting to battle, but then I was like... A Wingull at this level might have Wing Attack, which would absolutely demolish us. So yeah, we'll get a couple of levels on our newest Pokemon before heading to take care of stuff. Now this one definitely doesn't have Wing Attack, so yeah. Why do I keep skipping the Alolan Rattata? I mean, they hit hard, but they give speed EVs, not attack. I always get that mixed up. In my head, I've got them locked in as attack EV Pokemon. And I am trying to take this kinda quick. But mainly I'm doing this here because this is the fastest option for gaining special attack EVs right now. Well, this is the best option for gaining special attack EVs. You know, I actually checked something, and it's pretty depressing. That Wingull that we had to sacrifice to get through Alima had such good IVs. It actually had really good stats. Better than most of the Pokemon we've managed to keep alive. So yeah, Zipper Shorts here was a pretty exciting encounter, especially because it trimmed down the number of possible encounters in Melemele Meadow, and the meadow is pretty much a hot spot for decent encounters, and Caterpie, which we can't do anything about, because Caterpie just insists on being on about half the routes in the game, it seems. Oh, that was really dumb. There was no almost about it. That was really dumb on my part. I gotta remember, high-level Wingull are dangerous. Don't deal with them. For a second there, I thought we got paralyzed, but that would be impossible from an attack thanks to Zipper's Shield Dust ability. Bit by bit. Why did I attack? Why am I still doing this? What's wrong with me? There are so many other things that I can safely farm speed EVs off of. Why am I trying to make use of the level 8 Wingulls here in the grass? So yeah, overall we're in a pretty decent position. We have Zipper here, and we have Cut Off, and both of those will be good for helping deal with the fighting Kahuna. Zipper pretty soundly walls everything that he has. And we're gunning for level 14 at the moment, by the way. But yeah, Zipper pretty soundly walls everything that the fighting Kahuna has, but doesn't have the durability to take repeated hits even despite that until he hits level 16. She hits level 16. Which means we can't just depend on Zipper for the fighting Kahuna. We're going to want to involve other team members, the main one being Cutoff, who will learn Pluck at level 15 if we keep them from evolving. In case y'all can't tell, I've got the mouse hovering on Fairy Wind so that I don't have to try and toggle to it at hyperspeed. Okay, I'm thinking one more decent battle. We get us to level 14, and then we'll shake up who we're leading with. We'll switch Beige into the front line. And we'll do our training up here. Not as fast as it could be, but also not as slow as it could be. Oh, and come to think of it, we have a Normalium Z crystal that Beige can make pretty good use of. That'll make sure that none of these Pokemon can take a hit. Not that many of them seem to be able to anyway. And we pretty much just want attack EVs on this thing, so we'll take the defense EVs from these Metapods. Doesn't make that much of a difference. Attack and speed, I guess, since there are Rattatas here. Yeah, there's not much in this area that we would have any reason to skip. Plus, spamming Breakneck Blitz is just a fast way to guarantee one-shots. Makes this extremely mindless. One thing that we want to be aware of is we're going to leave one open team slot when we enter Melee Meadow, so that when we catch the Diglett in the cave, it will go onto our team rather than into the box. And this is, again, why I've gone out of my way to put together a bit of a playlist for this, because sadly, in the early parts of this Nuzlocke especially, we have to deal with a lot of grinding. I can't really justify skipping any of it, at least until we leave this island. I think that is going to be the cutoff for me. Once we've left this island... Oh, oops. Got into an extra fight. Once we've left this island, I think I'll feel comfortable with faster grinding using candies and PK Hex, just to keep the stream more dynamic and interesting, and focused on the parts of the challenge that actually make the Nuzlocke interesting. But while we're here, the main reason I don't do it is just that I don't want to have to try and figure out how many EVs we could manage to squeeze out of this place with our grinding. So while the numbers are still fairly large, I have to check. I'd have to do more detailed checks as to whether we would wind up over-leveling while EV training our team. I'm just curious. I think most of these would actually go down pretty easily to just tackles, with how Breakneck Blitz is attached. I might shake it up if we see a Metapod. I think the rest will be pretty easy to deal with. Oh, and Grubbin apparently has some toughness to it, even at this level. I'm actually really impressed by that. Yeah, this early area is really good for training up physical attackers. It's just a pain that it's not that good for training up special attackers or most bulky Pokemon. Well, let me check back here. Yeah, I have. Okay, we're almost to the level with Beige. For drawstring, I think we'll do the training down on the beach. Oh, hang on. If I recall correctly, this guy has a young goose. Oh no, it's a grubbin. Oh well, Brick Break will still be enough for it. And this girl right here has something. A Wingull. Luckily, we are very high level for this fight. This level, Rattata doesn't have a Dark type move. I think that might change by level 8. I could be wrong though, it could be about level 9. Yeah, these Wingulls are kind of why we're here. They're just a pretty solid source of speed EVs. Oh, this guy won't be able to go for long periods. Brick Break has so limited PP and the rest of his moves are pretty bad. As long as this guy keeps producing unlimited Caterpies, I'm happy to use them for easy farming. And at least we're at the level where in these early areas that we just used for grinding, most Pokemon can't really threaten us. In Howley City it's less true, but here that assumption is pretty accurate. Jorts is getting pretty close. And cut off. Just got a bit of a free XP farm. Well, thanks to a misclick, funnily enough, I didn't mean to click Brick Break into that Metapod. I just didn't react fast enough to switch to clicking Peck. Let's see if Cutoff can reach the next level before we have to go and heal in order to refresh our move pool. And when Cutoff does reach level 14, it'll try to evolve. We need to make sure that doesn't happen because we want to know Pluck before the Kahuna. Now I'm just gonna mash B for a moment. Okay, so with that, we should be pretty much ready to take on How. We've got a team that is at the level of his highest level Pokemon. So as far as How fight number 3. Let's see here. Level 13 Pikachu should be pretty manageable with the Diglett that we pick up in the cave. Level 14 Rowlet is a little bit more frightening, but we can deal with it with Cutoff pretty reliably. And we have Jorts as a backup. I'm kind of tempted to go ahead and level up Cutoff one more time, because that would get us Pluck and some extra bulk on evolution, which could make that a lot easier. You know what? Let's do that. We'll do that, and then we'll decide who gets left behind while we go to have that fight. There really shouldn't be any chance of over-leveling due to a fight with just a Rowlet. Like, if Cutoff was going to be involved in more fights between then and the gym battle, that'd be one thing, but as it is. actually need to go for Peck there. Why did I go for Peck there? That was actually directly disadvantageous. I went for Brick Break there to see if I could turn that Metapod into an XP farm, but it decided no. Mom, my bird is paralyzed. I need a nap. You ever think about how weird that is? You take a rest and suddenly all your Pokemon are healed? I mean, I get that they're taking a rest with you, hypothetically, but how is that healing things like poison or paralysis? Oh, and I don't recall if I mentioned this, but Cutoff, despite not having a minus speed nature, does have a speed IV of 1, making it still a frustratingly slow pick-a-peck. Because apparently the game doesn't like to hand out fast pick-a-pecks. Okay, learning Pluck in place of Peck. And, as always, our first evolution of the run is Cutoff. And we'll redo move order to put Pluck up front, since it's now the strongest move in its arsenal. Okay, let's take a look. Honestly, I think Boxer is the right one to leave behind for this. Anyway. We'll cut around down here to avoid any chance of running into the sights of that one breeder who's got a Butterfree that frightens me. I wonder what exactly causes these to regrow, because like, it hasn't been a day, I haven't fiddled with the clock, I don't actually know what sort of scenario we're working from right now. And I also don't remember if we dealt with the second trainer right around here. Ha, Snuck past. This is the meadow, right? Okay, so we're going to be rappelling through this meadow. We'll grab the yellow nectar while we're here. And now we have to run out the rappel, but hey, at least we can grab some stuff while we're in here. Nope, don't use another one. We're leading with a nice speedy Pokemon for outrunning any Zubat we run into, which is pretty likely since they make up 70% of the encounters. Nothing we can do out there yet. And there we have it. Our encounter. A level 12 Diglett. And I want to double check what moves this thing is packing. So, at level 12, you have Mud Slap, Astonish, Growl, and Metal Claw. Send in Beige. Yeah, let's try a Pokeball. Sometimes I swear the wrong thing works. Oh well. You can be work shorts. While I'm thinking about it, perhaps we should hand out orange berries. Let's see. I'll go ahead and give Jorts an orange berry too. Oh wait, anyone else need one? Yeah, why not? Jorts and Cutoff, you both get an orange berry. I know, extremely original. Now, work is at a pretty decent level, so that's nice. I think level 12 is the highest that it could have come. Yeah, so that'll help us in the match up. Minus special attack nature. A tad annoying that our only ground type move is a special move, but we can deal with that. This thing soundly shuts down Pikachu, and even if we couldn't finish it, we could actually just switch back and forth between this and Drawstring to burn through all of Pikachu's attacks. Dang it, for some reason I thought there was an item if I followed that little step path down. Okay. Back to repelling. And this might be unnecessary. Again, the worst thing that we could run across here is, like, the most dangerous thing we could run across here is a level 12 Oricorio, which we could probably catch safe. Wait, what? Oh no, I needed to be higher level, not at the same level. Oh well. This thing we can definitely catch. Let's see, what does Cottony have at level 12? I love how doing that just guaranteed that this thing would be at the highest level available. Stun Spore, Leech Seed, Growth, Fairy Wind. We're going to try and Astonish. Okay, so it doesn't have Prankster. We have yet to encounter... This is our second time that our encounter in here was Cottony, and neither time has it had Prankster as its ability. There we go. And of course, this one will be Cotton Shorts. Let's see your summary. Obviously, yeah, you have Infiltrator rather than Prankster, which is annoying because Prankster is just endlessly better. But neutral nature, I'll take it. Nothing really remarkable there otherwise. Oh, and I just realized 2 of our Pokemon can make better use of a citrus berry than an orange berry. Now to lead with a Pokemon that will actually guarantee that we don't get any encounters. We missed out on Oricorio, but we've never gotten Oricorio here. Sorry, Nibby, give me a moment. Grab the Poison Barb. And now we can switch the team back into the correct order for the upcoming fight. Okay. Back out here on Route 3, we're dealing with Hal. That's what he's got. So yeah, even though we resist it, Quick Attack is still going to do a bit of damage because, well, we're a Diglett. We are lowering its accuracy though with Mud Slap. And it can't go for Electro Ball. Okay, Rowlet is in, which means we switch to Cutoff. Alright, let's put our team back in order. Well, let's put our team in an order that works better for just wandering around now. So yeah, that guy we're not going to deal with. This guy isn't a trainer. Ooh, Soothe Bell, thank you. We can't get that until we have Tauros. Slip past this guy, grab the item, because why not? I'm pretty sure that guy down there is a trainer. But we can just walk past him. Okay. Last stretch of training before jeez. Kept overshooting. Last stretch of training before we take on the Grand Trial. We'll save a bit of time here by turning on the XP share. And yeah, I think that's about it. So we've got the Pokemon on our team that want speed and attack EVs. And I am going to get a bit hasty and do it up here where it'll be slightly faster. Oh, hang on. That was almost really dumb of me. I just realized one of the Pokemon that's currently on our team is already at the level cap. Yeah, that could have been bad. Let's see how close we pushed it. Okay, we had plenty of room, but it doesn't matter how much room we had if I hadn't noticed that beforehand. We would not have kept cut off for the upcoming fight, and at that point that would have gotten really scary. The positive is that in all of our attempts, we have not gotten a Caterpie as our Melee Meadows encounter. Okay, we will drop Mud Slap in exchange for Magnitude. And now if we can hit... Nope, we didn't hit the Metal Claw. Okay, real quick, we're gonna switch. Our attack is just so low at this point that the odds of us actually taking these things out... Well, they were completely gone at that point because we only had a single Metal Claw left, and that's the only move that Diglett has that can hit that. That can hit Pick-a-Peck. Part of the trouble with trying this challenge is just that because the early game is such a roulette around like things that we can't control with luck in the Emily and Delima fights that we need to be just right, otherwise we don't clear it. Not to mention needing to find a Pick-a-Peck and needing to get a Pick-a-Peck and a Litten with at least usable stats. It gets pretty tricky to deal with the early game here in order to get to what really is the meat of this challenge. Because the later game is definitely a lot more satisfying strategy-wise, and it's a lot more meaningful of a challenge because we can strategize through it. Not necessarily perfectly, because this is a very difficult game, and our strategy options are still limited in some ways, but we both missed each other. But despite that, like, the challenge really starts to flesh out as we go farther in. We have to do things strategically to try and get the right dupes to guarantee the encounters that make this challenge most doable. Now we'll drop Ember for Fire Fang. Oh, I guess I should probably go ahead and... Well, let's see real quick. You know what, I'll keep Litten in the party until the other two that are in the back here also level up. I think we can afford to do so. So much of the challenge is just what happens in the stuff after this first island. It's honestly really funny because Teacher Emily and Elima are 100% luck. Like, once we do, as long as we've got a decent strategy, we can maximize our chances of beating them, but there's no way we can guarantee it. Even with some acceptable losses, we just literally can't guarantee that we'll win. And then, assuming we've gotten past Teacher Emily, the rest of the fights on this island are completely free. And I'm not even exaggerating there. How to is guaranteed, assuming we still have Pick-a-Peck alive, because we can guarantee our Diglett, who safely solos how's Rowlet, and then Hala is completely free with a combination of Pick-a-Peck and Drifloon. I mean, ideally we get a Cutie Fly in there to help shore things up, but there really aren't many ways where that fight can go wrong. Go and take a nap before in order to heal my crab of paralysis. And just like that, we've got the whole team up to level. Oh wait, no, we've got all of our physical attackers up to level, I just realized. We have several other Pokemon that are not yet up to level. Okay, while it's just these three, we're going to focus on speed and, I guess, HP. we put Cotton's moveset in order? Okay, Fairy Wind is at the top. That was pretty much all I wanted to put in order. Hang on, I just want to check something. Oh, Slowpoke does give HP. Okay, never mind. This area is perfect at night. There we go. Yeah, if they just want to keep giving us rats and I guess slowpokes. Slowpokes are actually a bit annoying because they're so bulky and we can't just take them down in one shot. I didn't mean to use a second leech seed there, but it worked out. Still, we want to keep Cotton alive because Cotton can pretty reliably solo the water totem fight. Oh, and we're learning Mega Drain. That's very nice. There aren't really that many good opportunities to make use of paralysis hacks. We'll keep Drawstring in the party until either Zipper levels up or we go back to heal, which should be pretty soon because we're almost out of Fairy Winds. Oh, I did just realize that I have Mega Drain now, but... Oh, and I forgot to heal. Actually, I just realized that I really should have kept Stun Spore on there, because now that I recall, Stun Spore was one of the moves that I was using in the Totem Wishy-Washy fight. Oh well, we can definitely get by without it. Mega Drain will still work. Hey, Zipper's taken a while. Oh, and there is Zipper's level up. We're getting there. We're there. Yeah, I really should have kept Sunspore around, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Now, let's figure out who we're going to have in the party for Hala. I'm thinking. Huh. Yeah, these 6 are probably the best bet. As much as I wouldn't mind taking Beige as a throwaway Pokemon, no offense Beige, it's just we might have wound up needing a sacrifice. You know what? Actually, we are going to do that. I'm going to try not to need a sacrifice, but if we do, I'd like to have one. I'd like to have someone on the team that I don't have specific plans for. So, if we take a look here, we can go ahead and give Cotton an Oranberry. And give Boxer an Oran Berry as well. That brings our defenses up as high as they can go. I'm going to double check and make sure that everyone is up to speed. And now... we'll keep it simple, open with cutoff, hit hard and fast with pluck. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to bother explaining it again. We've already been over the basic plan for this match a few times in this run, and it hasn't changed. Alright, Hala. I'm just going to double check the level cap. That is the one thing that could go wrong here if I've somehow misremembered the level cap, but no, it is 15. Okay. Don't do anything crazy, just use pluck. Solid one shot. Makuhita comes in, so we pivot through drawstring. This will cause Hala to switch out. And we will go into Zipper. Never mind. Back to drawstring, I guess. I mean, the positive is that he won't go for arm thrust against us. Or he shouldn't. There we go. Let's see, we could go for Fairy Wind, or we could go for Stun Spore. Let's go for Stun Spore. Paralysis will make everything we do after this a little bit safer. Okay, and he's just going for all-out pummeling even though we quad resist. Even a crit shouldn't be able to get the KO here. Yeah. All that for 12 damage. All that for a drop of blood. It's okay if he wastes his potion here, it won't really make a difference. Come to think of it, he might have a full restore. I feel like I vaguely recall him having a full restore. Or, not a full restore, a full heal. Why do I keep saying full restore when I mean full heal? Okay, Makuhita is back in. It'll be going for Fake Out, which means it's safe to bring in Drawstring. He was immune to his entire moveset. Well, he can still be hit by Sand Attack, but it can't damage us, and we have a lot of gusts, so we can afford to miss a few. You got this Drawstring. I was about to say you got this Makuhita, but no, you definitely don't got this. Okay, we've got the TM for Full Swipe. We'll heal up real quick. And... oh. Okay, we gotta do a couple of things before we leave the island. We're gonna backtrack to Verdant Cavern. Or Verdant Cave, whatever it's called. It is Verdant Cavern. So we can grab the TM for Thief, and we'll be back. We'll be heading to 10 Carat Hill in order to pick up our encounter there. It looks like we never picked up the couple of TMs that are in the Howley Cemetery, so we might as well do that while I'm thinking about it. Cave, Kalade Bay. Ten Carat Hill gives us a chance at carbing, best chance in the first area. But either way, I mean, Rock and Roll is still more likely, but we're gonna hope that's about what we have. It doesn't look like we have any other major items to pick up while we're still here on the island, but we'll start with... oh, and leftovers. Leftovers is the item that we want to pick up while we're still here on the island. Holy Cemetery. This lady gives us Fling. You know, I'd probably battle these people here in the cemetery if they were guarding anything useful. But it's so easy to just go around them. Vibrating. Okay. We'll lead with Boxer. Jeez, I cannot click on the correct location to save my life. So yeah, we've already gotten the Diglett dupe. We can lead with Boxer to hope that it decides to make us try to fight Carbink rather than Roggenrola. Again, this is all entirely based on my superstition that the game tries to screw you over with encounters. But probably... no, not Diglett. I don't know how this keeps happening if my theory isn't correct. We'll throw around some weak bubbles to weaken it. That does so little damage. One more bubble, then we'll start chucking Pokeballs. Like, unless my theory is correct, I don't know how we've gotten Carbink the last 3 times in a row. Because we made it here exactly 3 times, and every time Carbink has been our first encounter. The odds of that are 6.5%. That's pretty bad. Those are pretty bad odds if we're correct about if the encounter tables tell everything. I am going to try to use a heal ball, because I think that hiking shorts would look very cute in a heal ball. Hiking shorts, welcome to the group. Let's see your summary. Neutral nature, we'll take it. Slightly better attack than special attack, that's kind of whatever. Pretty even defenses. Yeah, not much that we can tell about this thing. Clear body was guaranteed, so that isn't any surprise. Neutral nature is pretty decent. I would have been fine with having minus to an attacking stat or speed, but in order to get a buff somewhere else, but it's kinda whatever. I'm just glad that we have once again gotten the best encounter in this area. Anyway, oh, hang on. Okay, yeah, the only move that we missed by catching it at level 13 was Tackle, which doesn't really make a difference. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and add you to the party. We will swap out one of our other fairy types. And now, to save ourselves time, we're going to repel. Come back in here and grab a couple of items that we can grab. Oh wow, we ran into a Carbink out here too. That's lower odds. Oh, and acrobatics is right there. How many Carbink are we going to run into? The more this happens, the more convinced I am about my theory. And yes, I do have the mathematical expertise needed to actually test that theory, but I'm far too lazy to do so. Okay. So this is the boutique, right? That's just the clothing store. This is the stylist. This is the shopping mall. I have never walked in here before because I think I just missed it. Wait, that guy just said... I'm so confused about what's happening here. I'm so confused. We are literally picking up poke crap. Oh, I can only carry one at a time. Wow, that's a great mechanic. I don't know where the last piece is. I'm really not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that was what I wanted, because I've never been able to get that TM before, but... You know what my best song is? Wyatt's Parish song. That is worrying, to say the least. Okay, this is a restaurant. It's a battle restaurant. We're not going to bother with that. This is just a clothing store. Yeah, okay, that was the only useful thing we can get in there right now. The antique shop can have some useful stuff, and I guess we could technically grab our Litten. You know what? Why not? Grab Litten, backtrack over to the mall, and have this person teach us Fire Pledge. So hang on. Oh, I guess friendship has to be higher for that to happen. Oh well. Not really gonna worry about it. We can check back some other time. I can even edit friendship in PK Hex, so it's kind of whatever. Okay. So that's everything to take care of here on the island. I'll probably save real quick just to fiddle with some stuff. The only major battle in Here City is against Dexio. Now we don't have any dark type Pokemon, so his fight does become a tad dangerous. But even then, we're going to have hiking with leftovers, so the Espeon should be manageable. We are going to go We've gotten so many TMs in the last little bit. Acrobatics on Drawstring. Yeah, as much as Gust comes off of a stronger stat, Acrobatics is just a better move. Oh, a surprising number of them can learn Round. That's interesting. You know what? Why not? Hiking, you can learn Round in place of Rock Throw. Because Smackdown is just linearly better. Confide wouldn't be a bad move to have around on a couple of them. Oh, I still haven't backtracked to Cave yet. I backtracked to the cemetery, but I forgot to check the cave. Ah, the road port theme. You know, I just realized that trying to just run away there was a terrible decision on my part because this thing has Metal Claw. Why do I keep doing this? I'll lead with a much faster Pokemon in order to outrun these things and be able to run away more freely. I just got jumped by the shaking grass patch. Alright, get me out of there. I think the charge is slightly faster, which is why I've been doing it to make progress. Okay, we have a new TM. We're going to go ahead and use it on Beige, I think. Okay, and we're just gonna take a moment and hunt for a couple of Munchlax. Hang on, we're gonna loop back around though, because, well, I shot past the best patch of grass for hunting Munchlax. Oh, there we go. Well, that was quick. And just like that, we have one leftovers. Just gonna keep hunting for Munchlax for a minute here. Looks like we have two. Before we leave the island, we'll probably do the leveling that we need to for our next couple of major battles. That's just for the purpose of not having to keep backtracking. Was able to pick up a nice pile of games from the Steam Summer Sale today. several that were on my wish list and a few that were in a bundle with something on my wish list. It's a nice chance to get a few games for streaming and a few games just for me. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to try Project Zomboid out on my own time before I decide whether to stream it, because I know that I want to try it, but I don't know if it'll be a fun thing to watch with me not knowing anything about what I'm doing beyond what I have learned from Kevin. That's a slight exaggeration because I have also watched a good bit of Ambiguous Amphibian, and he's got some good... Oh, why did I tackle? Why did... I keep clicking the wrong stuff. Yeah, I watch a decent amount of Ambiguous Amphibian. He's got some good Project Zomboid content, and he's really knowledgeable about the game in a way that Kevin isn't always. Like, Kevin knows more than he lets on, but there's still a lot that he doesn't know about the game. Whereas with Ambiguous Amphibian, he tends to know a lot about the games he plays. He likes to do a lot of challenge runs and a lot of weird playthroughs of stuff, where he breaks games or exploits them, or just kind of shows off that he knows how to use the mechanics. Do I want Beige to learn Bide? Honestly, probably not. Can't seem to get away, but on the other hand, Leftovers is canceling out almost all of the damage that Pick-a-Peck can do. So yeah, we'll probably at least prep for HOW 4 before leaving the island, level-wise. So I do need to take a second and check how strong HOW is in the Paniola Ranch, or in the Paniola Town fight. But I think we'll get 1 or 2 more leftovers before I worry about that. So I'm guessing I'll be taking everyone to at least level 17. I'd be battling the Bonsly for defense EVs if it weren't for the fact that they actually have a slight edge on Carbink in a one-on-one. Carbink has a lot of bulk, but Bonsly has a lot of physical bulk and can hit harder. If we get it to low health, then Flail could actually do quite a lot, especially if it crits. One more Munchlax, please. Come on, where are the Munchlax? Oh, now the game is just trolling me. It's not like a nighttime only encounter, is it? Surely I would have noticed that before. Okay, there's that area right here. No, it's day and night, same odds, everything. You know what surprises me in Pokemon? The fact that Pursuit, when used by an enemy Pokemon, doesn't have any impact on when you're trying to flee from a battle. Like, you'd think it would work there just as well as it works when you're switching out. There we go. There's one more. I think this'll be our last leftovers for the moment. Unless we get another... Nope. I was gonna say unless we get another Munchlax while we're walking out of here, but no. Okay. Let's put our team together for grinding. Should be the last little bit of grinding. These three will be headed back to the beach. Except before we do that, we're going to save. And we're going to restart. Just to resync time. Nighttime on this beach is just better for this goal than daytime. No payback for the moment. Yeah, sadly, this was never going to be the most interesting stream. Just like with the past few attempts, we kind of just have to take some time for some grinding at this point. We're learning Draining Kiss. We can go ahead and drop Fairy Wind there. Switch Cotton into the lead position now. I should look at more options for this playlist, though. 'Cause I know there's all sorts of good music, like good video game music out there that would be just very pleasant to listen to while we're doing this. I don't think of it unless we're actually in this situation where we're grinding and trying to get our Pokemon ready for the next fight and listening to the music. La musica. See, by doing this, most of the EVs that I'm getting are speed EVs, but there is the occasional HP EV, which is pretty good for all of these Pokemon to have. And the fact that I don't have to skip any of the encounters, I can just take them all out rather than having to think about what, which Pokemon I need to run from. This is a definite plus when it comes to grinding. Okay, we'll try for one growth. And now we dealt with them. Some of these SOS battles can get really annoying. Okay, drawstring has hit the level cap. I think now we'll jut over to town. Just so that we can mix in some special attack EVs from Abra. We could also obviously get them from Magnemite, but that would involve fighting a Steel type, which is something I'm going to pretty heavily avoid for a good chunk of this run. Okay, let's zipper up to level 17. For a second there I thought Cotton's name, I thought I had done a typo somehow and spelt it Colton. I should go and heal so that Cotton has all of his fairy wind. His, hers, I don't know. I've been through so many iterations of these Pokemon. I love how Fairy Wind just looks like I'm just throwing sparkles in their face. Just a straight up glitter bomb. Right to the schnoz. time is it? Okay, we still got some decent time. Get a couple more things done this evening. Cotton Spore is a big speed drop, right? You know what? Honestly, I think it's worth it. I'm gonna go ahead and drop Fairy Wind. We've got better fairy type attackers. We've got a better fairy type attacker. I think being able to throw around some speed debuffs could actually save us in a couple of important fights if we get into a sticky situation. Alright, put Work Shorts in the lead, turn on the XP share, and away we go. You know, honestly not the worst thing that this isn't the busiest stream. I'm sure I've got a couple of lurkers hanging around, but it's not the worst thing. There's not too much going on. It just leaves me the chance to chill and do some grinding. Get my Pokemon up to level, make some progress through the parts of the game that everyone watching has more or less already seen. It's still a bit of a tricky situation because honestly, I still don't have a better plan for when we go in against Mimikyu. I just straight up don't have a better plan right now. It's going to be pretty much totally dependent on whatever we happen to have for our team when we arrive at that point, because there's a lot of uncertainty between now and then. So clearing the early game, like, it'll help develop our plans a little bit, but at the same time, it won't have that much of an impact. Until, like, right before we get to that point. And there are plenty of tough battles between now and then that we're going to have to deal with in order to get there, so having this chance to do some fairly mindless gameplay that we've already figured out before going into the hard stuff at the end. Well, not even at the end. Like, that's the funny thing. I felt like we were so far into the game, but in reality, we were sitting round about halfway. We still had 2 whole islands. 1.5 islands to finish up before we even got to the Elite Four. That's kind of a lot when you think about it. I would say that we still had more than half of the game left, really. Because we still had not only the remainder... Not only the trial that we were on, but the grand trial on that island, the entire next island, and the entire villain storyline, and the Elite Four. Now granted, all of that had a lot of potential to go much faster than this part right here. When you consider that we've gotten the early game down to about 2 streams consistently, and that's with all of the resetting to get through bad starts to attempts. Like, the late game is going to take longer. This is part of why I was hesitant to dive right into a Nuzlocke, because especially with a blind Nuzlocke, it's going to take longer because I have to go slower if I want to survive it. Well, I can't really call this a blind Nuzlocke. I'm looking up everything. But these have been my first attempts at playing this game ever. I'm pretty surprised we haven't seen a level up yet. I mean, I know we're not getting much from these things because they're all like level 3 to 5, but... I don't know, maybe someone in the back is leveled up and I just didn't notice. Oh jeez, that was a magnitude 10 on that Pichu. That was overkill. Jeez, they're just offering up all of the Pichu, like, here. Slaughter them. We have a mouse problem on this route, and we need you to eliminate them. I didn't mean to run away from that pick-a-peck. Oh well. I mean, I could speed it up if I was fighting the metapods, but I'm not really trying that hard to get defense EVs on them, on the team. Jeez. Okay, once Work Shorts runs out of moves that we can use to deal with these things, once we run out of Metal Claw, we'll switch to we'll switch to Jorts. Oh, for a second there I thought Jorts was going to try to evolve, but I guess that isn't until later. Is it level 17 or 18 that starts happening? Once we hit that point, Jorts will start to level faster. Which will be a tad annoying, but... nothing we can't deal with. Truth be told, this is a faster speed than I would prefer to have this. I mean, it works well for this grinding. Oh yeah, sure, replace Bubble with Bubble Beam, why not? It works well with grinding, just because it lets me go as fast as I like. Or as fast as my system can manage, in order to speed the process along. But typically I'd prefer to cap it at about 3 times speed for gameplay, since I'm aware that this is kind of an incomprehensible blur. You're just seeing Pokemon on the screen for a few seconds at a time as I button mash through, spamming the same attack over and over again. Would have been really nice if one of these runs had given us a Pichu in Howoli City. It would have been another decent Pokemon. Like, Pikachu doesn't have the longevity in this run that I'd really like, because it gets really frail pretty fast, but at least it has stats that make its offenses usable. And we could hunt for a Light Ball to bring its offenses up to truly absurd proportion, or truly absurd amounts. Sorry, I just keep worrying that I've missed it leveling up cut off. I should take some time in the next little bit, look through my Steam library, start thinking about what games we might play next. Is there a decent number I have in mind, and I've picked up a good few? I've been eyeballing Detroit Become Human a bit, so we might wind up trying that one. So I've never played that. And the only playthroughs of it I've actually seen are Call Me Kevin's and then RT Games, so the two from Kevin are both on the extreme evil end of the spectrum, whereas the one from RT Game was like absolute lawful good. And yes, Diglett's hands would be covered with blood. Diglett has done a great slaughter on this route. Not even exaggerating. Fun fact, according to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, I think it's Explorers of Time? Diglett does in fact have feet. It's one of the great mysteries of the Pokemon world. But Diglett does have feet somewhere down there. Truth be told, the nature of Diglett has always been a bit of a mystery, because somehow, even if you pick it up from the ground, it is still attached to the ground. If you have it use a move like Sky Drop, or I think you can teach it Mimic in some generations, and if it mimics the move Fly, like, you get a flying Diglett that is still somehow buried in the ground. Diglett has power that the rest of us can't really hope to understand. Not with our puny comprehensions. Okay, Jorts, you do not evolve because that would make you too tall. I mean, truth be told, we don't know that Diglett doesn't have hands. They've just never been mentioned. We wouldn't know that Diglett had feet if they hadn't been mentioned at some point, so... I'm actually really surprised that Cutoff hasn't leveled up yet. Like, I'm really surprised. Even though Diglett was getting double the XP, Cutoff has been level 16 for most of this process. So many bugs. Cutoff is eating caterpillars and ticks and spiders. And mice. Don't forget mice. Okay, and just like that, the entire team is up to level 17, which should be good enough to have us get to Paniola Town with a good enough level to beat How for... Let's just double check this real quick. So... you have to pass through Route 4, which we're going to want to rappel through, because we can get the Lillipup dupes on the other side. Yeah, pass through Route 4, repel through Route 4 to Paniola Town. Then once we reach Paniola Ranch, we'll get our Lillipup encounter. Then we'll backtrack to Route 4 during the night to get one more encounter, which will either be Grubbin or Eevee. Grubbin is more likely and a bit better of an encounter overall, since it has, since it can evolve once, and it covers a larger encounter chance on the several routes that it shares with Eevee. Okay, so this is the one where Hao has his Dartrix with Normalium Z. Good to know. Okay, let's put together our team. We'll mostly just be grabbing our heaviest heavy hitters. Actually, there's one more thing that I want to check. When does Yungoos learn Bite? At level 19? You know, this may seem overkill, but because we don't have a dark type, I kind of don't want to take chances with the Dexio fight, so we are... Oh, hang on. How did I not get Beige to the correct level anyway? Everyone else is 17, and Beige is just sitting there at 16. Because Beige has the ability Strong Jaw, which gives, as I call it, pseudo stab on Bite. So if we go ahead and get Beige to level 14... Oh, I never took away its leftovers, that's why it was holding an item. We're just gonna stampede through a lot of Pokemon right here, using Breakneck Blitz. To ensure the one-shots, because I don't really feel like taking the rest of this grinding slow. Only got 3 levels to get through. And luckily we're doing this at night, so even if we accidentally leveled to level 20, we wouldn't risk Beige evolving. Because Yungoos can actually only evolve during the day. Which, lore-wise, never really made sense to me. I could never see a compelling reason why it would only evolve during the day, given it is themed after, like, a private investigator or a mobster. No, I think it's designed after a detective, because Gumshoes. Gumshoe is a slang word for a detective, correct? I feel like that's the case. So I think they were going for that pun in Ace Attorney. So yeah, again, the reason for this extra grinding on Beige is to get it to level 19, where it will pick up the move Bite. Dang it. I couldn't steal the leftovers after using my Z power because I don't think using it opens up my item slot, though I'm not actually sure how it interacts with acrobatics, with Flynium Z. Okay, that's 18, one more level, and we will be good to go. Gotta be honest, I feel like since they went out of their way in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet to let your Z Crystal automatically recharge in pretty much any situation where you couldn't just go and recharge it, they should have just had it recharge after every battle. I don't think it would have been an issue. Like, they were definitely going for a more restrained feel on terastallization. Was I calling it a Z Crystal instead of a Terra Crystal, or a Terra Orb? That's my bad. This game is the one with Z Crystals. But yeah, they were trying for something a lot more controlled, because Z Crystals and Dynamax both really just got to be too much in game in a lot of cases. But I think that had a lot more to do with the fact that they were modifying not just the power of the move, but the effect that it had. Over the ledge. We need to go back to Mom and heal. Okay, and now we drop Bite for Thief, and we are good. or Thief for Bite, and we are good to go. So now we have an effectively 90 base power Dark type move. On Beige. Now it'll still have to take a single hit from an Espeon, but a 2-level advantage on that should help there. Or is it just a 1-level advantage? Hang on. Here City... 3-level advantage. So yeah, the 3-level advantage along with the powerful Dark type move should make this more reliable. Everyone else is just who we kind of want on the team for the next little bit. Why are you just standing here? Time to set sail. And watch this cutscene at a much faster speed than they intended, which is honestly just quality of life. Oh. And arriving here, we're greeted by the Clocktown theme. That's very nice. Olivia, and that's the dreaded Mallow, whose trial finished off our first decent run. The funny thing is, like, there's a non-zero chance that I have managed to mess up there's a very real chance that I've managed to mess up the count of how many runs we've gotten, or we've gone through. So I really have no idea whether we are on run 24. We could actually be on like run 26 or 27 if I just didn't count right. Oh, I never picked up the expert belt. Oops. Just making sure we got everything. We definitely got most of everything. Yeah, I think it's just the expert belt that I forgot to go back for. We can get that at some point. Anyway, look at me. Look at how hot I am. And that Bellossom is nice too. Bellossom was one of my top Pokemon in my original height lock. Okay, so right up here we are going to have to deal with Dexio. Luckily, we should pretty easily outspeed the Slowpoke and Bite. Oh, I really thought the Bite would be a one-shot there. I mean, it's a lot bulkier than Espeon, so... Hang on. That's a 100 base power Breakneck Blitz, boosted by Stab, but not super effective, which means Bite is definitely the stronger move here. We are going to have to take a Confusion. We should be able to take one. Oh, if that had crit, we would have just straight up died. Alright, we'll switch in Hiking. Luckily, Hiking has the defenses to take a couple of Confusions. and leftovers will back that up. Yeah, this guy's Espeon is actually terrifying. I've just usually had a dark type by this point, because I always seem to stumble into an Alolan Rattata. Except this time I've kind of avoided it because it's not really a necessary encounter anywhere. If we just get our encounters... Oh, you know what? I just realized. Hang on, I gotta check something about Route 4. So, Route 4, if we get our encounter during the day, that's the encounter pool. But if we get it at night, that's the encounter pool. So I think we'll actually want to get our encounter during the daytime. Simply because... Let's see, at night we have a chance of getting Rattata in place of Grubbin or Eevee. During the day we have a chance of getting an Igglybuff. Yeah, daytime is definitely the better option since we don't have Rattata. Since we don't have a Rattata dupe yet. But regardless... Oh. Let's go ahead and switch up the team a little bit. Oh, and we can buy a bunch of technical machines. I believe I added a bunch of big nuggets for us to sell. You know what? We'll get a nice round million Pokédollars. For now. This is just because money is farmable at this point through a variety of means, meaning we could get unlimited money. So there's no reason not to have it. And it just lets us get all the items that we need to play optimally. I'm not going to bother with Aurora Veil because I see literally no possibility that we make use of it. Bunch of repels. These repels are very important. Okay, is there anything we need to pick up while we're here? Nope, just the TMs in the shop. And then... Okay, we have to fight our way through several of these trainers. In order to get anywhere. But at the very least, we will rappel through the entire route. So, first one, Bellhop Jody has a Drifloon. We'll do our best to... We'll do our best to keep it quick, that's about it. Hell. That will keep all the Pokemon off us while we're leading with anyone on our team. That happened, well, while we'll lead with anyone on our team currently, because... Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna deal with this person. Drifloon's a little bit scary because of its Aftermath ability, but I think we can finish it fast enough that that shouldn't be a problem. And for all I know, it has... For all I know, it has Unburden. But it probably has Aftermath. No? Huh. Okay, I'll take it. Okay, who's up next? Looks like there's a collector who is packing a Munchlax and a Bagon. And yes, I am going out of my way to fight everyone on this route who has a chance of catching me off guard. Because if I don't, there's always a chance that they catch me off guard at a time that I'm not ready to deal with it. You're not a trainer. Open with a Brick Break. All out pummeling. Yes, use another one. Okay, and then the last person is Cook Ernie, who has a Cutie Fly. So we'll keep this nice and simple. Go with Cutoff. And there was always a chance that there was a crawler under that tree when we first checked it, so it's worth having cut off in position there. Oh, for a second there I thought it forced me into the Howl fight immediately on entry and I had the wrong Pokemon in the lead. It wouldn't have actually been an issue because I was just baiting an electric move that I could have switched work in for free on, but... Oh, my heart skipped a beat there. Okay, Paniola Town, the only thing we really have to worry about in this town is fighting How. Everything else is when we backtrack to it later. But we've got Drawstring to come in and take on How's Okay, I just need to check items real quick. Jorts, congratulations. You get to hold a Citrus Berry now. Okay, I think that's all I need to worry about here. Let's go. Oh, that's why he didn't have a Z move in the last match. He didn't get a Z ring until after he beat his grandpa. Anyway, this will be a much more straightforward match than the last time, since we're not operating at a 2 or 3 level disadvantage, and we have a decent ground type move. And we just went massive overkill on it with getting a magnitude 10. Okay, so more than likely it's going for Razor Leaf here. Oh, it went for Peck. Doesn't really make sense, but we want Drawstring to be the one in here so that we don't get wrecked by his Z move. Plus, Drawstring has... Well, yeah, Drawstring is immune to the Z move, resistant to his Grass-type stab, takes neutral damage from Peck, and gets a boosted Acrobatics from eating its berry. Yep. Okay, just like that, we are through to here. Here's what we're gonna do. We are going to go visit Paniola Ranch and get our encounter there real quick. Just so we can get Lillipup on our team before we have to worry about anything else. And we will battle this lady because she has a Carbink, and frankly I don't want to get caught with the wrong Pokemon in the lead for that. And Work Shorts is the right Pokemon for this matchup, having a quad effective Steel move. And rather than risk the potential miss on Metal Claw, we'll just break out Magnitude. Oh, she's got a full restore, okay. That's kinda rude, lady. Just take the L with dignity. The fact that that was a Magnitude 7 and it did less than half is kind of insane, and another testament to how absurdly bulky Carbink is. Well done, Work Shorts. Sure, you can go ahead and learn Bulldoze in place of Astonish. Why not? Okay, we took care of that. There might be a guy up ahead with a Mudbray, but I think we can avoid him. I think I generally do. Anyway, we do have to deal with Mallow, but she does give us our ride pager for Stoutland that we're not going to use until her trial. And that's a Mudbray, we don't need that one. That's a Lillipup, there we go. That is our encounter here. And yeah, I'm just gonna go with a Nest Ball. What type of shorts do you get to be? Hold up. I want to check something. Okay, so it looks like print shorts is a type of shorts, and you know what? Dogs have great little footprints, so you can be print shorts. And you're going to a box because we will literally never use you. In fact, more likely than not, the only use that that little pup will see is being traded for a bound sweet. Okay, last thing we're going to do. I'm going to heal up. We're going to save and fiddle with the time so that we can get a daytime encounter back on Route 4. Save, and then we time travel. And just like that, we've now maximized our chances of a decent encounter, and because we haven't gotten any unnecessary encounters, we've locked in the dupes that we meant to, we actually have a small chance of getting Jigglypuff here. Now, Jigglypuff isn't the best or Igglybuff. Igglybuff isn't the best encounter, but, pardon my French. I'm joking. Yeah, Igglybuff isn't the best possible encounter because we can only evolve it to Jigglypuff, but on the other hand, it is a decently bulky Pokemon. It's a normal type, which could potentially help us with the ghost type, and if I recall correctly... No, never mind. I was going to say it might help us with a dupe on Mount Hokalani, but no, that's Cleffa that we would need there to guarantee Minior, which sadly doesn't work out for us. That said, based on the pseudoscience that we're rolling with, sending in Boxer should pretty soundly discourage the game from sending in Eevee against us, which is the least useful of the potential encounters, so watch it show up first. Nope, okay, looks like we're getting a Grubbin. Honestly, probably the best encounter here. It does help us deal with a couple of dupes later on. Though, unfortunately, we'll still have to deal with Igglybuff on Route 6, since we didn't get it here. Yeah, in hindsight, it probably would have been a smarter call for me to get the Route 5 encounter before this. I didn't really think that through. But we are just going to roll with it. Okay, we got our bug. And as in previous runs, he will be Suspender. Suspender Shorts. Welcome to the team, you little tick. Minus attack and plus speed. That is absolutely awful. That is so bad. That is probably the worst thing that I could imagine for Grubbin, because it's not going to be outspeeding anything, even with that speed stat, and attack is its better offensive stat. Like, I honestly think I would have preferred Modest, because then we could have at least maybe done some charge beam shenanigans at some point. That's just so bad. Oh well, okay, we got that. So, with that taken into account, let's take just a second and talk through plans for next time. I won't be streaming tomorrow. It's 4th of July. I got family stuff going on. So we won't be seeing each other again until Friday. That's the day that I'm trying to think of. Yeah, we won't be seeing each other again until Friday, so that's when we'll be back with this. By then, I'll want to have figured out the plan for going forward with the remaining encounters. And it's a bit of a tricky one, because yeah, we'll probably go ahead during the daytime. I don't think it matters. I think day and night encounters are exactly the same on Route 5. Yeah. We'll probably go ahead and make our way to Brooklet Hill and see what we get there. Because there are a few possibilities. Yeah, so let's talk through what's happening real quick, because we got a couple of minutes just now. So on Route 5, there's a chance that we come across Formantis. Oh, hold up here, I can... There we go. Oh, I gotta make it visible. Yeah, if we take a look here on Cerebi, on Route 5, these are the encounters. So out of all of them, because we already have Grubbin, a bit by mistake, admittedly, we have Formantis and Caterpie as the legal encounters. Sadly, we can't guarantee Formantis. If we could, then I would go for it right away. But as it is, there's still a pretty good chance that trading our Lillipup for the Bounsweet is a better call here. Just to get the necessary dupes for Lush Jungle to maximize our odds. With that said, there is a chance that we get Paris in Brooklet Hill. If we get Paris in Brooklet Hill, and we manage to get a Formantis from Route 5, then we can actually guarantee Comfey in Lush Jungle when we get around to it. Which would be really good. Now, unfortunately, there are a couple of interfering encounters on Brooklet Hill, because there is a chance of encountering Poliwag instead. There's a chance of encountering Dupiter instead. We don't need to worry about fishing for Wishy-Washy there. We can backtrack to Akla Bay on the first island in order to get that. because we've already gotten a Wingull in this run. Sadly, we can't take advantage of another area in the route in order to get better odds on Paris. This is the only place that we can hope to lock in Paris that wouldn't interfere with anywhere else. But, anyway. We'll probably go ahead, get our Brooklet Hill encounter, which means we have to deal with Gladion, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, we'll get our Brooklet Hill encounter, then backtrack to Route 5, where we will either, if we get, here's my thinking. If we get Paris in Brooklet Hill, then we'll gamble on getting the Formantis. Because the odds on Formantis are better than the odds on Caterpie. Formantis is twice as common. And if we get Formantis, then in Lush Jungle in, I believe, the west area? Yeah, in the west area, in Lush Jungle, during the... Oh, wait, no, that's if we have Bound Suite. The west area is the best. Which area is the best if we have... if we have Paris and Formantis, we can guarantee a daytime Comfey encounter in the north. I don't think there are encounters in the east area. Yeah, there aren't. Which, yeah, if we lock in Paris, we can instantly get better odds on Comfey than Bound Suite gives us. Because without Paris... Actually, we can instantly lock in the same odds. Because it's 20% versus 5% in the west area if we have Comfey and Bound... Or if we have Paris and Bound Suite locked in. And it's... Okay, it's 30% versus 5%. But if we don't lock in Paris, it would still be 30% versus 5%. So yeah, if we get Paris, then we'll go ahead and get our Route 5 encounter in the grass. If we don't get Paris, then we'll go ahead and trade Lillipup for the Bound Suite. It's a whole thing. We're in a bit of a unique situation here. The only other thing I want to check is Route 6, because we actually really want to be looking ahead to here to maximize our odds on getting Oricorio. So, Oricorio is only available in the southern 2 patches of grass. It's a 20% chance. We've locked in the Lillipup and the Pick-a-Peck dupes. So the only question is daytime or nighttime. Daytime, it's between Oricorio, Igglybuff, and Eevee. Nighttime, it's between Oricorio, Rattata, and Eevee. So with that, we'll probably wind up making that attempt during the day. We really want Oricorio, but there's a chance that we come across Igglybuff. And that is a bit better of an encounter than Rattata, especially since we keep getting Rattatas with Hustle instead of Gluttony, which massively nerfs their viability using anything other than a Z move. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. And there's nothing left that we can do to mess with that encounter. Yeah, so the next couple of stages will be pretty straightforward. Not much to think about beyond what we've already decided. We'll just have to do it. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I appreciate it. It's been good to have y'all. We've had a decent amount of success getting ourselves set up with a very useful dupe. A Pokemon that pretty much guarantees us the water type trial, and Suspender here, who will be one of our decent mid-game Pokemon once he evolves into Charge-a-Bug. Oh, and we managed to somehow, by some miracle, luck into another Carbink, which is really giving... This is really giving some good odds on my theory at this point. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. I appreciate y'all, and I hope to see you next time. Later, folks.